James Shapiro, Shakespeare in a Divided America, What His Plays Tell Us About Our Past and Future. Dive into the world of A Shakespeare in a Divided America by James Shapiro as we explore how the Bard's plays have been used as a lens to interpret America's past and future. Delve into the stories of Shakespeare mingling with abolitionists, the dispute over masculinity, the Astor Place riot, and the ever-changing interpretations of his plays in a changing America. Discover how the works of William Shakespeare continue to play a significant role in the American political and cultural landscape.
Othello and America's Abolitionists. Fanny Kemble, an actress from Britain, arrived in America to great fanfare. At a dinner party, she was seated next to former President John Quincy Adams, and their conversation revealed his discomfort with interracial marriage, particularly in Shakespeare's Othello. Adams had written an essay in which he claimed that black and white blood cannot be intermingled in marriage without a gross outrage upon the law of nature. Kemble later published her journals, and reporters pressured Adams to elaborate on his remarks, leading to the publication of his essay. Despite his later commitment to abolition, Adams' views highlight America's struggle to reconcile its ideals with the reality of racial inequality. Masculinity in Manifest Destiny. In 1845, the U.S. Army's westward expansion was rooted in the idea of manifest destiny, which established that masculinity is tied to supremacy. This belief was divided into the frontier ideal embracing alcohol, physicality, and domination and the moderate belief, a more reserved and morally upright version. The popularity of hypermasculine actors like Edwin Forrest dismissed plays featuring sensitive male characters like Romeo, which were then more successfully portrayed by women like Charlotte Cushman. The Civil War exposed the dark side of masculine domination, and men began to embrace a milder version of masculinity. The Astor Place Riot. Shakespeare's play, public theater, and an actor's choice sparked a rivalry between Macready and Forrest, leading to a deadly riot in New York City's Astor Opera House. Shakespeare's works have always been open to interpretation, and Hamlet is no exception. The Danish prince's statement, "I must be idle," has sparked varied opinions among scholars, some believing it meant appearing passive while others believed it meant pacing around aimlessly to feign madness. A British actor, William Macready, opted for the latter approach during his performance in Edinburgh, which set off a deadly chain of events in New York City. Macready's performance, which involved tossing his head back, skipping and swinging a handkerchief from shoulder to shoulder, was met with disapproval and hissing from the audience. Fellow actor Edwin Forrest was present at the theater and shouted, "Throw him out," instigating a rivalry between the two. Forrest staged competing performances against Macready when the latter visited America, culminating in a violent episode at Astor Opera House in 1849. The theater was new and funded by wealthy patrons with strict policies, including a fancy dress code that excluded the working class. With Macready's performance, anti-aristocratic and anti-British sentiments arose, leading to a protest. The protests soon turned into a full-blown riot, with cobblestones thrown, and over 20 casualties recorded. Unable to erase the tragic past, the Astor Opera House was later dismantled. The Astor Place riot showcases how Shakespeare's plays and public theater can become critical components of historical events. Shakespeare and the Assassination of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln found solace in Shakespeare, reciting his lines to others and using them to process personal tragedies and difficult decisions. However, for John Wilkes Booth, Shakespeare's work was a call to action, especially Julius Caesar. Booth came from a family of actors and became politicized early on, gravitating towards bold and dark Shakespearean roles. He was radicalized following the end of the Civil War and plotted to kidnap Lincoln, which eventually turned into an assassination plot. During a production of Julius Caesar in 1864, Booth interjected the word "Sic semper tyrannis," and later shouted the same words after assassinating Lincoln. Shakespeare's influence on the mind of an actor and political radical like John Wilkes Booth is a testament to the power of literature in shaping our beliefs and actions. Shakespeare's New World inheritance. The Tempest by William Shakespeare, a play set on a magical island, has been interpreted by scholars to represent the New World. The character of Caliban, a supposed native savage, was also used to support early 20th century nativist attitudes and anti-immigrant sentiments. Percy Mackay's adaptation of Caliban by the Yellow Sands in 1916 further reinforced these ideas. The play emphasized Prospero's desire to educate Caliban and improve his subhuman nature, mirroring white American attitudes towards immigrants. Mackay's Caliban ultimately fails to achieve enlightenment, reflecting the belief that people from different cultures would never learn to be true Americans. Such attitudes contributed to strict immigration laws soon after. The Taming of the Shrew, a reflection of changing America. After World War II, America underwent a significant shift in gender roles, resulting in a drastic increase in the divorce rate and domestic violence. This was the backdrop for Bella Spewak's adaptation of Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew into a Broadway musical, Kiss Me, Kate. Through the play within a play format, Spewak cleverly showcased two contrasting visions of marriage, one traditional and oppressive, and the other modern and liberating. The production was a huge success and addressed the changing attitudes towards gender roles and relationships in post-war America. Shakespeare in Love, the American adaptation. The success of the 1998 film Shakespeare in Love reveals a lot about the changing values of American audiences. The film changed significantly to accommodate American sensibilities, with scenes being revised, characters being reimagined, and daring themes removed. The story was originally about Shakespeare finding his muse, a sexually adventurous and independent woman named Belinda. She helps him tap into his feminine side, and they embark on a journey involving unconventional sex. However, the script was altered to remove the more daring themes, and the heroine's boldness and independence were lessened. Will's marriage was also addressed in a way that wouldn't offend American sensibilities. The film's success shows that American audiences were not ready for a movie about the fluidity of sexuality and a man embracing his feminine side. Shakespeare, Politics, and Society. Shakespeare's work is being abandoned by the right amidst continued politicization, as seen in the backlash against the portrayal of a Trumpian Julius Caesar in a 2017 production of the play in Delacorte Theatre. Shakespeare's work has always been a conduit for different people to take away different ideas and make interpretations to serve their purpose. This phenomenon has been observed for centuries, but only recently has one side of the American political theater chosen to abandon Shakespeare instead of using his works to their own ends. In 2017, a production of Julius Caesar was staged, but it wasn't a call to take down the president. However, this didn't matter to Trump supporters once they heard about the production. The similarity between the actor playing Julius Caesar and Donald Trump was enough to cause outrage. The media also added fuel to the fire by not mentioning that the production was Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. Instead, outlets like Breitbart and Fox News emphasized the fact that a guy who looked like Trump was being stabbed on stage in Central Park. As a result, the few remaining performances of the production were held with the help of security and a police presence. However, the social media onslaught that accompanied the uproar revealed how fragile democratic and societal norms like public theater were. The key message here is that Shakespeare's work continues to be politicized, but it's in danger of being abandoned by the right.
Throughout A Shakespeare in a Divided America, we've seen the intriguing ways in which the great playwright's works have been woven into America's past and present. From the tale of Fanny Kemble and the race debate surrounding Othello, to the ways Julius Caesar was used as a political and cultural statement, Shakespeare's plays have been instrumental in reflecting American values and challenges. As we continue to grapple with modern issues and political divisions, the timeless wisdom and interpretative power of Shakespeare's work remain a robust foundation for exploring the complexities of our society. The conversation around Shakespeare's enduring relevance to America's political and social environment will undoubtedly continue to evolve, offering new interpretations and insights to suit the ever-changing landscape.